Come on, Lagana. Now you're a second behind.
I
You
said
lost
turn
it.
NASCAR off.
I'm watching it. I will watch it. You said you couldn't hear it, so I don't care.
Okay,
We are good.
we are good. All right. Hello. Welcome to the Exiled Soldiers podcast featuring Mikey, aka Rebel Mikey on Xbox. Then we got Sparrow, and then Kurai. And our featuring guest today is our Twitch streamer and good buddy Shadowmourne, aka Archon SC2. So Archon, how are you doing today?
Doing quite wonderful. Thank you for asking. Another lovely day here in New York.
That's great. That's great. All right, so I got one question for everyone. Then we're gonna kick off on our first topic. In your opinion, do you think love is a commitment or a feeling?
It's definitely a feeling, in my opinion, because let's say you love someone, right? Let's say you love someone, but not all love is a commitment, I feel, because you can love someone different ways. Some you can have that experience, obviously physically, you can have it mentally, and even in a relationship, not all of it is a long term commitment, I'd say.
All right, Sparrow, what's your opinion?
Well, feeling. I kind of agree with him on this one, actually. Makes
Jennifer?
sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he gave some pretty good points there because you can love, like you said, you can love people in different ways, like family love, relationship love, friendship love. He made a lot of sense. He pretty much just killed the topic right then and there. So
I
he did
feel
pretty
like
good.
it's both.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it
what he
can
said
be.
is accurate, but to love someone else that you don't really know, that's a commitment. To get married, that's a commitment. That's 100% a love commitment right there. But that's just me.
True.
All right, now for our first topic today, with everything in the world going on, how is New York doing? Because last I heard, it was rioting, but I haven't talked to you or looked at the news since the last time we talked on Horus Heresy. So, how is that?
So New York is definitely suffering right now with the COVID epidemic, of course, as you know. So when I go outside, I usually just go outside locally, do a little running, a little exercise around the block. I don't go to any establishments. Restaurants right now are not open for sitting down or anything like that. You can only take things out if you're going to restaurants. And I also feel like, hey, what's the point? Why put myself at risk anyway? So I don't go to restaurants these days. Just make my own meals. I order basically from Amazon, get my groceries from Amazon Prime. I get the Amazon Fresh. But yeah, for me, it's pretty boring. But hey, the weather's nice. I go outside. That's pretty much it.
How does that work? How does you ordering from Amazon
How does
Prime?
Amazon work?
I personally haven't heard of that. It's kind of cool,
Yeah,
actually.
I haven't either, so I'm curious. Enlighten us, dude. You
Yes.
brought up something great.
So it's pretty simple. I mean, I just order groceries, and it just saves me a trip to the store. I don't need to put on a mask because I just go grab my groceries from the outside. It's just I pick up anything I want. They put it in a bag. So if it's something that's frozen, for example, they'll include some dry ice in case it's something that's perishable or anything like that. But it's not a big deal. Obviously, when it arrives, I just put it in my fridge and such like that. I don't leave it out there for a couple days or anything like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
So
Might actually try that one
that
time.
is
You know?
pretty cool. I'm gonna pick up on that subject. So, do they just walk up there, set the deal on the ground, ding the doorbell, or like you on a third floor? They fly a drone up there with all your food or something. Like, how does that work? Like that's complicated. Like, do they got a cooler they stick it in with the dry ice, or they just throw it in the box?
Yeah, so they put it in the bag. They basically have it kind of separate in the bag there, and they take a picture when it's ready. So I get a picture to my email as soon as they have delivered it, so I know exactly when it's coming. I get a notification, the day before, letting me know that it's going to be arriving as well. So I have multiple notifications to tell me that it's going to be arriving, so it's not like surprise, like, hey, oh, I didn't expect that. I have exactly an idea of when it's going to be arriving at my place, and they don't do anything like drones or anything like that. They drop it off manually.
I would hope not.
Just imagine being like on the 7th floor of a building, sitting by your window. Oh man, when does drone get in here? Just pulls up. Your food's here.
Honestly.
Pretty much.
All right. So would you say that it's more expensive off of Amazon now, or the same price as going to your local mart?
Definitely cheaper, I feel, because right now I
Cheaper.
feel it's definitely cheaper because right now, if you've noticed, some of the fruits and such definitely going up in price because of the. It's definitely related to the COVID epidemic more so than the comparing the mart to the groceries on Amazon itself. I don't know why Amazon has it cheaper, but I guess it's because they're able to outsource, get the best prices as opposed to the local market, which may be only getting some uh, produce and fruits from a certain supplier or whatnot. But yeah, it's been a little bit
Yeah,
cheaper on that side in terms of like fresh produce and such like that.
That's pretty cool.
that kind of makes sense too, because Amazon's always delivering and driving out of town and stuff. And unlike the local marts, they have to fight to get their stuff.
Just don't
Unlike
order from
Amazon, oh, we
FedEx.
can't get it right now. We can't get it right now, but hey, we're gonna go over to the next state, pick it up from our other building, and bring it over to you. It'll be there in 3 hours or so. That kind of makes sense too.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so how many times a day in New York do you hear someone shouting, "I'm walking over here"?
Ooh.
Well, not so many times anymore because I'm
I
trying to
went to
avoid
studio.
people because of the epidemic. So yeah, not so many.
Darn, dang, that sucks. All
Can't
right,
believe
the
it.
Rev. Ultimate question. You want to go ahead and promo your Twitch stream real quick for the podcast so people can learn to look in and get to know who you are and hopefully subscribe to you after watching our podcast?
Sure. So my name is Kyle. I am a Twitch TV streamer at twitch.tv/archon SC2, ARCHON SC2. My main game is going to be StarCraft 2. I'm a competitive RTS gamer. I played on professional teams and I have competed in tournaments where I have collected some prize money. But these days, I'm playing a little bit more casual games, leading communities such as Eve Echoes and related content. I'm kind of connecting with communities and just trying to get to know people through gaming.
Okay,
That brings me into my
One of
first
these-
stream. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Twitch.
brought to you by Twitch. All
Oh
right,
boy.
So I just want to point this out. You play StarCraft. I like StarCraft, but I'm a Command and Conquer guy. So you want to step into my realm for one day? We'll go toe to toe. I promise you, bro. You need to get Kane's Wrath 3. I'll
tell you
play
what.
that all day.
I'm not a stranger to Command and Conquer. I did play my fair share. Tiberian Sun, Red Alert 2, Red Alert 3.
Alright. Oh,
I'm
I can't believe
definitely
you played Red Alert 3. Oh, it's such a shame for you, man. Oh, that was the worst.
well. I'm definitely not new though to basically Command and Conquer and what it started with.
Alright, well, the main game I play is Command and Conquer 3 Kane's Wrath. I used to be really competitive in that game, but lately with COVID and everything, I'm still working and I'm working more hours, which is funny because for your case, you guys aren't working as much. For us small towns, our prices went up, our work schedule, they went up, everything has went up in small towns for some reason. It's a big flip and flop.
That makes sense again. I guess everyone's having a hard time right now with the epidemic and going to work and getting the supplies needed to sustain everybody because the demand stays the same, but the supplies are lower.
Yeah. All right. So you say you've been playing Eve Echoes. All right. I was playing with it with you for a bit, but I fell off the track not because I wanted to, but because of personal reasons, which will not be mentioned on the stream. How about you tell our other two potties here what Eve Echoes is to see if you can get them interested in playing with you.
Right. So Eve Echoes is going to be a mobile spin-off of the long time standing Eve Online PC client, which is going to be featured as more of a space opera MMORPG. You take on the role of a pilot, a capsuleer, heading into space. Kind of, it's its own sandbox. So you're kind of setting off on your own adventure. You choose what to do. There's no right or wrong. You can set yourself up in terms of multiple skill paths and journeys. You can take on the role of a military pilot or a pirating person to trying to kill other players and get their money, for example, try to extort them or destroy them. You can become a trader if you're not interested in more of the PvP and become rich. And by becoming rich, you can do a lot of fun things. You can make all of the modules and ships, everything in the game that people fly and build is done by players. These are not seeded on the market. these blueprints come out of the players but themselves, and they can make ships and modules. So all of it is player oriented, which is pretty exciting. And you can also become rich is being important because you can also pay for the in-game subscription through the in-game resources. So you don't have to pay a dime to play the game.
What's it called again?
So this is Eve Echoes Mobile,
Eve
and
Echoes
it's
Mobile.
actually from. It's kind of a spin-off for a mobile version off of Eve Online.
So that brings me into my next subject. The
Sure.
second sponsor of this episode of the podcast is sponsored by Eve Echoes Mobile.
Yeah, talk about Eddie's sponsor. Looking at you, Joseph. I'm on a
All
first
right,
name.
Jennifer. You know this ain't an exiled talk if something doesn't happen, right? You're about to
I know.
learn what that something is.
I know.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
There
I
it
know.
is.
Uh-oh.
That was there's our. If you ever hear the shotgun rack in the deal, that means you might have a chance there and a prize. But then you gotta be quick to say it, and you gotta recognize what time it was done in the deal. There's not gonna be a prize for this episode or video, sadly, but that is your deal. Listen for the gun rack.
Oh my god.
This is also a good time to say that we're hillbillies and rednecks, okay?
I'm not.
Well, you may not be.
All right.
You're
So
putting a lot
we've
on me.
introduced our Twitch streamer. We've introduced our little thing, and our apparently two sponsors that don't realize they're sponsoring us.
Hey, shh, I'm trying to get Gatorade. Leave me alone.
Not yet. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Gatorade. Bet. Powerade.
Yo, we're trying to get Gatorade. I'm trying to get NASCAR. The hell are you talking about? You
Oh,
on the low
yeah.
totem pole.
No, they got Dale Jr.'s download. All right, they've got his podcast.
All right.
They ain't gonna sponsor nobody else.
Oh, they all right.
They're
But,
sponsoring Dale Jr.
Here's my thing. So we got the new generation of consoles and games coming out, but they're being postponed till the end of next year. How do you think that is going to respond to the gaming community? I want to hear each one of your opinions before I speak mine.
Well, you guys start first. So
All right, I'll start first. So let me just preface this by saying that I'm not a long-standing console gamer. I haven't really played console as much since Halo, the OG Halo, back on Xbox.
Rock
which
on,
is a long
brother.
time. So it's been a long time for me. So I'm personally not off-put by any delays in console gaming. Personally, that being said, I know there was a recent the Samurai game that was looking pretty good. The PlayStation exclusive. I don't know if I don't recall the name of it right now. That game was looking pretty hot. So
Caro?
I don't remember. You take on the role of like a samurai trying to hunt down the. Where are you on the? I forget exactly. I don't know because I didn't play it, but it was pretty good. So that was a PlayStation exclusive on console gaming that looked really nice. I wanted to play that one. So yeah, that's one of the games I think that is out there. For example, that I would like to see as a title release that I want to get my hands on. But as for me personally, I'm more of a PC gamer, and the main reason for this is because I got into a lot of the competitive titles were kind of RTS focused for me. Again, that's my kind of background, and there haven't been that many RTS games on console. There have been a few, like I did play, I think it was Alien, one of the Alien versus Predator games. I think Extinction comes to mind. That was an RTS focus, but it was kind of hard to play, and it wasn't multiplayer or PvP focused either, so it was not a competitive one. It was just for fun RTS version. So for me, I'm not off put by it. I'm okay. COVID's here. Everything's delayed. It is what it is.
well,
All right.
I
So
heard.
we're going to go ahead and say ladies first. Sparrow, you can go first.
Okay, that was a good one. I'll give it to you. Okay. Well, I heard that the Series X Xbox was supposed to come out in December of this year, so I don't know about that.
I don't know.
What I do know is I'm a big movie watcher, and I know that a lot of movies got delayed and postponed until next year. And this was going to be a great year for movies. The new John Wick was supposed to come out this year. It's been postponed until next year. The new what's that one movie with John Krasinski and A Quiet Place. Quiet Place 2.
Actually, Shadow, do you like movies, Mr. Rev Shadow, aka Kyle, our Monster Energy pounding guest star of the day?
Yeah, I do enjoy watching quite a variety of different genres of movies.
All right, so there's a movie I watched the other day. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it was on Netflix. It has Chris Hemsworth in it. It's called Extraction. So there is the biggest debate on this movie. At the end of the movie, this guy gets shot in the neck. I don't know if anybody's
Ooh.
seen it or spoiled it, but here's the problem. At the end, he gets shot in the neck. Then 2 scenes later, he's alive. People say he's alive, but nobody can argue if he's dead or alive. If you've seen the movie, I recommend it because that at the end will leave you on your chairs forever.
Okay.
Now,
Okay.
Kurai, you can go.
About the whole console thing.
I don't go for it. He brought up movies, so if you want to go on movies,
I
go
was
on
just
movies,
saying, most
right?
movies are getting postponed, and it's like I'm a big movie watcher, and a lot of movies that I was going to watch this year are being postponed until next year. You know,
Right.
I mean,
See, I don't know, cause like the console thing, I'm very comfortable with like the consoles I have now. Like this, I own the Switch Lite and then the Xbox. I'm very comfortable with those two at the moment. Like I don't really want to
Yeah,
switch
same.
anything like that. I'm just very comfortable and I don't want to change. And the movies, that's a bit different because you did have those big releases. Like one of them was Mulan, and with the whole
Actually,
scandal
it
thing
did
going
get
on with
released.
that.
It's on Disney Plus right now.
Right. You
yeah,
have to pay like $30 to watch it, right?
which I think is kind of a bit of a
No,
ripoff.
you pay $6.99 for Disney Plus, and you can watch it right now.
Dude, there's no way. I just heard people
Yeah,
saying
but
like
why
2 weeks ago that you had to
why
pay
Hold
pay
on.
to
for a
watch it.
movie if you already pay for the streaming service itself? Why pay for
Because
Yeah,
since it was a new
like
release and they didn't want to lose a bunch of money on it.
they didn't lose any
It
money. You
would,
can watch it right now
I
for
would say it would
$6.99.
cause more people to get their streaming service to watch it. You know?
But I hear you. For people, for example, who didn't have the streaming services, or for people that just wanted to see it in the movies, just for that premiere movie experience on the big screen, right? Instead of just watching it on their PCs or their phones, for example,
Right.
with their significant other having popcorn. It definitely does detract from the experience. So I definitely feel like there was kind of a negative, definitely some kind of negative press just on any movies that are being released this year, just because of the epidemic.
And I
Yeah,
don't know about
definitely.
you, but I heard the movie did not do as good as it was going to do.
I heard that too.
If you have Facebook,
I
which
never
you don't
watched it.
have, Sparrow, you'd see all. Yeah, they got a lot of bad memes about it now. It dropped so bad that they got
Did it
memes
really?
over it. Like,
Oh boy.
yeah, it dropped really bad.
Oh
They
yeah.
said, how come? They said this. They said, how come the Lion King, with all kinds of Lion Kings, was 10 times better than Mulan, and Mulan had real people in it.
I did actually watch the movie. I'd like to comment on it. So first, let me
Oh,
say
you
this.
would?
I would like to comment. Let me say it like this first. I think they're being a little harsh. One thing that I would have liked to see, and I kind of expected, was, hey, it's a Disney movie. I kind of wanted to have some, some nice song or some nice melody going into it, because that's what you expect from Disney, right? I guess every time I watch a Disney movie, it's some kind of nice, kick-ass song, and I think about to my childhood when I watched the first Mulan, and I'm thinking about the whole "Be a Man" song. It kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah, defeat the Huns.
Yeah, and like these are the things that years later are gonna stick with you. So I was a little bit disappointed myself that there wasn't kind of a song to go along with the movie itself, especially considering the fact that it was a Disney premiere, Disney title here. But that being
Yeah.
said, let me just say it like this: in terms of action, in terms of content, I wasn't disappointed. It had kind of the content that I was expecting going into the movie. So I think some of the ratings there aren't just because of the movie's quality. I think some of does have a political agenda. It stands point for people that were more affiliated with the politics side of it. I won't get into it for the sake of the podcast, but some of those ratings were definitely politically affiliated.
Yeah, with like the whole women power thing going on and whatnot, I could see, choosing the right
To be
actress.
honest,
You
see, there's nothing against the rules of going in political. I just need everybody to understand that we're not going to get racist with it. But like, I watched the first 15 minutes of the movie, so I can't say anything about it. But I understand some of the political stuff they say about it, but at the same time, you got to think of the time era it was in. and nobody ever does that. This movie was based way back in the day when, the Chinese
Hmm.
felt that the men were supposed to be in the military and the women needed to do everything at home. All right, that was back then. That was their tradition back then. That was their traditions leading for decades. So you can't quite get mad at anybody about a movie about that. So the putting politics into that is kind of where everybody loses track, and at that point, it stops being a movie and it starts being a, come on, man, it's just a movie.
I mean, it's
Right.
just like, if you were to balk like the Django, right? That movie, we already know what that movie is about, right? We know it's set in that period of time, like close to the Civil War, which I think was set like based like 2 years before the Civil War or something. But it's about I can't even speak. Django, right? Becomes a bounty hunter from being to where he was on a plantation to being now a bounty hunter who's now free. And so it's like you're trying to debunk, like, oh, well, why is he now this? Why is he that? Why does he have to be this? And it's you're going to
Just
attack something that's based on a time period of that's how it was. There's no changing that. You know, Quentin Tarantino, he knew that. So it's kind of
Right.
like
So
that. You can't take political things about history. History is history, and if you want to tell the story of history, you gotta let them tell it.
you gotta tell it right.
It can't be the
Yeah, you gotta tell
it
it
can't be
right.
the
Don't tell it
politics
all.
of today that define the movie, because the politics of today weren't that politic topic then. So it's like
exactly.
it's kind of pointless in my opinion.
Right. So that's why we can't apply the arguments of the politics today to what happened in the back. So I definitely want to interject and just say, just to clarify, it's definitely more than just gender roles and more of just the social aspect of women taking more of a house role and more of a marriage supportive role compared to the military with the men going to the military. This is specifically toward the politics with regard to the Hong Kong or China police force and the political view that the lead actress for Mulan was not. She referenced herself as Asian as opposed to Chinese, for example, and some people were kind of upset that she was playing. Some people were upset that she was playing such a very legendary role, for example, that had a big Chinese influence, had a lot of ties to China, and she didn't reference herself as Chinese. She's Chinese American.
I can understand that. I can understand the anger behind that because
Right.
Mulan is everybody knows Mulan is based about China. That's like one of the that like even if the story is fake, that kind of revolutionized the world with that story. So
Sure.
to be so political in the movie, that's where I feel movies fail nowadays. That's how I felt about the Star Wars movie, because the new Star Wars, The First Order, could have been good, right? It could have been great, but everybody kept complaining that Finn didn't have enough of a big enough role because he was black, and I was like, Finn was an amazing character. He was really well bent, but the First Order was about the new Darth Vader guy
Kylo Ren.
and the Skywalker lady. I don't know. I watched it. I'm not a big Star
She
Wars
is not a
fan.
Skywalker. Okay, first of all three of those movies
Oh,
bombed. Okay,
okay. She's not a Skywalker. She's a
she's
Palpatine. Let me get it
exactly
right, guys.
there. You go. She will never be a Skywalker ever. The only person that's
I don't
related
know
to the
about that.
Skywalkers is Kylo Ren.
Okay,
That's it.
Han Solo. What about? All right, Shadow. You gotta know more about Star Wars than me.
So yeah, I did see the Star Wars. Personally, I agree with you. It's not like the old day with Star Wars, kind of going into it, and I was a little bit saddened that they kind of doing the series in by getting rid of some of the good characters and kind of putting in some of the meme characters, I suppose. And I didn't think that Finn's role was. I love Finn as a character. I love that he kind of defected from being a stormtrooper, serving serving the First Order, and going from there. I kind of liked his storyline. I didn't think of him as not having a big enough role or whatnot
Yeah, I'm
throughout it.
about to say he had such a good impact that they put him in the damn game as a hero you could play. To tell me that he didn't have a big enough role, that's just pointing out the fact that you weren't really paying attention, because that man really breaking off from the order is not easy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think of it as a question of race. This is one of the podcast things, but I think of Lando, right? Legendary Star Wars character like Lando Calrissian, and like I love Lando
Lando's
with his
awesome.
story. He's been in like every movie. He's been like in every Star Wars game. He's fun to. He's very sassy, like Han Solo. He's kind of like that smuggler role, and I think that Lando's got again a legendary role throughout the series, all of the Star Wars movies. That I can't kind of draw a parallel between him and Finn in terms of any accusations of the Star Wars franchise, personally.
Yeah. I mean, come on. If we're talking about any characters, Boba Fett had 15 seconds of fame and is now the most popular character in Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
how the fuck do you do that? Nobody even knew what he was. They just said, that dude got badass armor. Bet. Lando's
who's the one lady that was with Poe? What was her name? She was she worked like in the escape pod room or whatever her name was. She played a big part in the second of that trilogy.
I haven't seen any of the movies.
What was her name?
I only read.
It was one that she teams up with Finn and whatnot, and like goes to a planet or whatever. Well, anywho,
Desert planet.
No, to like the with the racetrack, with where they meet all the.
Oh, the Phantom Menace.
No. In the last trilogy, the second movie of that,
trilogy.
The Last Jedi.
The Last Jedi. Oh, I haven't seen The Last Jedi yet.
Oh, well, anywho, the one lady, she got a lot of backlash because she was not that good of an actress. So what they did was they cut her screen time in the third movie by a tremendous amount because of the backlash of her acting. And I can see what they're talking about, but like to really, bump someone down from being an actress, then to them now losing screen time and money, I can see how that would be kind of messed up. I can see both sides of this. I don't know.
No. Yeah, like one of my favorite characters of the entire Star Wars universe. It is not a dude you hear of often, but Hondo. He's a pirate. He literally leads the pirates of the entire universe. That dude is hilarious. That is my favorite guy. What's his last name? Hondo.
What are you talking about? Han Solo?
No, Hondo.
Who's Hondo?
Well,
Who's Hondo?
Yeah, I think I've heard of it. Hondo Civic, right?
Hondo Onaka. Hondo Onaka.
Honda Civic.
Yeah, you're funny.
I like that one.
Took me a minute.
His name is Hondo Onaka, and he leads the pirates of the Star Wars universe. They're like, whoever pays me the most gets me on their side. And he even makes a comment in there. He's looking at the Republic like, I only deal with the Republic because, one, I don't like the Separatists, and two, you guys pay really good money.
And I think Hondo Civic was pretty good. Like, you're just gonna let that slide, Mikey? You can't.
Yeah, I'm gonna let that
golden.
slide.
It was golden.
I'm gonna let it slide because, one, if he's comparing Star Wars to a Honda, I can understand it's foreign, it's not that good, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, but don't forget about Toyota,
As a personal Star Trekker over here, we're on a subject that's technically foreign for me to talk about. So
you want to talk about
I have
foreign?
to let certain things slide.
Like, you got me in like a subject I don't know nothing about.
You don't know nothing about Star Wars? Are you kidding me?
I got a question for all of you. So, there are movie series, and then there are movies, and then there are TV series made about movies or books. Out of all the TV series and movies you've watched, which TV series would you say was actually 100% better than the movie series?
The Punisher. I'll take that one to heart. That was way better than the
Okay,
movies.
I can agree with that one. I can agree to disagree with that one. The Punisher TV series definitely was better than the 1998 Dolph Lundgren one and the one with the other
Mhm.
guy in it. But the Thomas Jane one, yeah, you can't. They both come out on equal terms with me because in that Punisher with John Travolta, they showed the Punisher in more of his ingenuity, his brains, his how he takes things to approach. As to where in the movie, the Punisher, when you're looking at it as a comic standpoint, they showed how strong and brute and how much damage he can take and keep on
Hey,
going.
did you say John
So
Travolta?
I could. John Travolta was in one of the Punisher movies with Thomas Jane.
Let
He
me look.
played the bad guy. Yeah. What about you, Shadow?
That's a hard question, right? Because I think it's usually the other way around, right? We read the books and read the
Yeah.
series, and it's usually so much better. Like I'm thinking about
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings books that I read, and I remember reading like The Hobbit, Return of the King, and the Two Towers, and I just had so much more vivid detail by reading these books that it's kind of hard to see that in a movie because in a movie it just happens so quick, right? You have a couple hours of screen time and then it's over. But these books I can read over weeks. I've kind of this journey kind of continues, and I'm allowed to have more of imagination in my mind as as opposed to what the screen shows me. It kind of dictates more. So I'm having a hard time to think of something that I've seen on the big screen here that is superior to what I've read. I
Okay.
don't think so.
Let's eliminate
So
books. Let's go into for just for you. Um, movies that were turned into TV series. Which one would you say the TV series was better than the movie?
Probably since we're on the track of it, probably the Clone Wars, right? I've been watching the Clone
Like
Wars.
like the cartoon?
Yeah, the cartoon. Yeah, the cartoons have been pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go 100% back that one up because out of the entire Star Wars franchise, that is probably the only series I can rewatch right now and completely enjoy.
I did try to get into that. I just don't know if I'm into it. You know,
Oh,
I
you're
just don't know.
missing out, dog.
But yeah, the
Ah,
2004 Punisher movie. Yeah, with Thomas Jane as the Punisher and John Travolta as the villain. All right.
what about
I
you,
never
Kurai?
realized it was him.
You watch a lot of chick flicks. Something you
I
gotta know, have an answer.
I don't really watch movies that often. I have the ADHD makes it so like movies I will just lose interest halfway through them. What's the last movie I watched? The last movie I watched
You
was
got
Silence of the
You're
Lambs.
like in an empty room.
So yeah.
Oh, well, we can tell.
Um yeah, I'm really not a huge movie person. That's the issue here.
Okay.
But like the books to like movie thing is like Shadow was mentioning. I get that because like the Artemis Fowl movie on Disney Plus, I haven't watched it yet because I read the books, and I'm scared if I watch that movie, I'll just lose all the love for that series I gained, and I just can't bring myself to do it. I can't do it.
All right. Personally, for me, I grew up watching old movies. I still watch all the old movies, and these new movies with these new actors, they, in my opinion, they're not outputting. But there was one TV movie series that I watched called Lethal Weapon. I had debated
Ooh.
forever to go and watch that TV series, and I'm not going to lie to you. The season 1 and 2 of Lethal Weapon are so much better than all the movies combined.
A
And
TV
that was
series
a
really
tough
good.
thing for me. That's a tough thing for me to say because Mel Gibson at his time in Lethal Weapon was a badass. But I'm sorry, Clayton Crawford took the role of Martin Riggs to a whole nother level, and the guy who played Roger Murtaugh just completely killed it. It was funny, actiony, drama, and at the end of season 2, it made me cry, 100%. Just can't compare. It's just that they did so much better with the TV series than they did with the movie, and it's amazing.
I actually never actually watched any of it.
Dude, Lethal Weapon's so good though. That show is amazing.
Why are you whispering?
Because I don't know why that show's just so good.
It's so good.
Have you seen it, Shadow?
I have not, unfortunately.
Do you have Hulu?
I do not. Again,
I
I do
guess
not.
I gotta hook him up after this. All
Yeah. Yes. Send him that login information.
Uh,
right. Might as well just eventually stick that in the chat.
Honestly, though, do you want to watch Hulu? Do you want to watch
So-
Disney
Everybody
Plus?
has it.
so,
Here's the logins.
so is it really true they're going to make a prequels for Star Wars, like like 200 years before the prequels? You know, with the old religion and whatnot. Well, I probably shouldn't have brought up Star Wars because nobody knows anything.
Yeah.
Man, you guys gotta get
No, if
really
you
acquainted
would've-
with Star Wars, bro.
You gotta get real acquainted with Star Trek.
I am
Oh.
acquainted with Star Trek. I love those 3 movies.
Okay. All
Don't
right.
you dare go to the old generation because I don't know any of them.
All right. Okay. So who's Worf?
Leave me alone.
Oh, you don't know the Klingon who is on Picard's ship with Data? Do you know who Data is?
And meeting my mic.
He's an android who's like stronger than the Klingon, and the Klingon's supposed to be the strongest guy in the ship, and he's smarter than him. Come on.
Hey,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
watch
What
the
about
old
the
TV series.
What about the crossover? Have you at least seen the crossover episode with
I
Captain
have
Kirk
only
and
watched.
Captain Picard?
I have only watched
Come
the
on.
the 3 movies.
Rev, have you seen that one?
Well, I haven't seen a lot of Star Trek, I admit, but I do know those characters. Yes.
Like, okay, the OG Captain Kirk and Captain Picard crossover. Does anybody even know that episode?
No.
Ah, shame. I'm just kidding. Alright, see, he mentioned OG Halo earlier. What do you guys think about the new Halo coming out that really doesn't look that good? But I get it, they're working from home, but...
Well, okay, hang on. Hold up. Let me put some input on this. The only thing that I have a problem about, the only thing, everything else looks pretty great. I'm actually excited for it. Whatever. The only thing I'm not happy
the
about
fucking shotgun out of the gun.
is making a grapple hook attached to his
What?
arm.
What?
Yeah, like, where did that come from?
That is the
I don't-
that is kind of like one of the dumbest things I've ever seen.
Rev, have you seen the new Halo Infinite
I have seen it.
trailer?
Yeah, I've seen Halo Infinite, and I guess they kind of got again crossovers again back to the OG Halo. I wasn't sure if it was going to be kind of a true remake, going back in or whatnot. So I haven't really paid too much attention.
So basically, let me explain something. At the end of Halo 5, this game is supposed to be picking up after Halo 5. Master Chief has no grapple hook, nothing. He is literally stuck in this capsule at the moment, frozen in there by Cortana, and all of a sudden, he has a grapple hook now. That is our
Well-
problem. And here's what else they're doing: they're dropping the shotgun out of the game.
Wait,
Oh,
when did
hold
they
on,
say that?
shotgun out of the game? That's
Yeah.
kind of one of
What?
the OG weapons.
Yeah,
It's like-
they're
it's like
taking
getting rid
it
of the best-
completely out of the game.
Wow. Okay.
And by the way, the ending of Halo 5.
I'll tell you what,
it
I'm
was
not a
on
big
capsule.
fan of the SMGs. I can do okay with the battle rifle, but these OG weapons, the shotgun, the assault rifle, the pistol, the sniper, the rocket launcher, these are things that I think should stand the test of time for the Halo franchise.
I mean, like, and even Bungie has made the comment. They're like, dude, you're literally destroying our masterpiece. They're like, if you
Right.
fail this game, we're gonna have to buy Halo back from you. They gave them no choice. Like, this game has to be damn near perfect. And from what I've been reading, it's already failing. They're taking the shotgun out. They added new stuff. Apparently, I don't know about this. Apparently, this game is actually not going to be based around Master Chief, but the Marine that you see in the freaking trailer that is flying the ship. That's what he's going to be based about. Your entire deal is supposed to be about helping him.
Okay, so it's kind of like the what was that? The UNSC, USMC Marine from like the Halo ODST
Halo
kind of
3
version.
ODST? No,
Right,
you're playing as
right.
Master Chief.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it is not based about his mission. It's based about saving one guy. And it's going
So-
to be like, apparently, from what they looks like, it's supposed to be a carbon copy of Destiny.
So,
It's stupid.
according to Halo Waypoint, they're replacing the shotgun with what is known as the Bulldog shotgun.
No.
It's
Okay.
it's
So they're doing the
something.
worst.
It's like a new design or whatever to the shotgun. They're
Shotguns have
calling
like
it the
3 designs.
UNSC's riot shotgun. I don't know.
They're making a mistake,
I don't know.
in my opinion.
They took out
You can't just
the old pistols though, the old design of the pistols. So the Magnum.
the CE Magnums.
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
took those.
I can understand that, but if they're gonna take it out, they gotta like rep. They made the game completely designed around the pistol. So like the pistol is the most competitive weapon in the game. It literally has a range that exceeds the sniper rifle, which is stupid as hell.
Right.
So
And it had like a two tap to the head.
yeah, yeah, it's stupid as hell. So like, what I would like to see is my opinion, Halo 1 was amazing, but Halo 2 hit it perfectly with all the guns, because the Magnum they had in that game had a high fire rate, but it did dog shit damage. But that's kind of what the point of a Magnum is. It's more of a self-defense weapon, a last resort gun. You don't really go into combat trying to combat a sniper with it. So if they're gonna do anything with the game, they gotta fix that system. It can't be based around that pistol again.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, back in Halo 1, it was all about the pistol. The pistol was the most competitive weapon. So you wouldn't be caught dead using the assault rifle. I mean, just anyone with the pistol, 2 shots and you're done.
Yeah.
2 taps. It was very, very
It's
effective.
just like in Halo 2, they balanced all the weapons out. They made them what they are supposed to be. Halo 3, it's like, in my opinion, a pistol should not be overpowering a weapon that has a 60-round clip and can unload 30 bullets in you before you could technically unload 4. That's just, I don't know. And then they what's the new gun they're adding? I don't know if it's just a remake of the Mauler from Halo 3, but the new fucking little 6-shot grenade looking thing they had in the trailer. Oh, it looks so bad.
But hey, I'll tell you what. One of the games, granted, I haven't played any of the 2 or 3, but one of the games I was enjoying on console was Gears of War, the original.
Gears of War.
Would love to see some. Again, I didn't play 2 or 3, so I can't comment on that or whatnot. But I would love to see like another remake of Gears of War that would be maybe just really popular. I'd love to play some PvP, maybe even an RTS Gears of War.
Oh,
I'd love to see an RTS version, like an RTS version.
Oh,
It hasn't come out yet. So if they do ever take it into an RTS light, I think it could be very successful because I could see like 2 factions and maybe something RTS related would be really.
yeah. Well, technically 3 factions if you can consider the Lambit, and then with the RTS they can also throw in the new guys, the Swarm, and there's a lot, and the DB. There's a lot more to Gears of War. You've been missing out, right? Yes, the multiplayer has fell off to straight only competitive, but the story is nothing but progressing, hopefully getting better, and that is one of the few games that I would say is really well developed. They have a good company behind them. Because the drones, the guys we fight in the first game, in 3 you kill them all. In 4 they turn into this thing called the Swarm, where technically they never died.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen that yet. Maybe someday.
Man, you got to catch up on that game's story at least.
Someday, Mikey.
Someday.
I tell you what, I give you my time so that I don't catch up on it. How much? Just so you can. I'm showing you how much I respect you as doing your podcast here.
Okay. I mean, I get it. You're busy, but someday you got to just read up on it. Like, not necessarily get 100% of it, but just read up on the story. It's gotten better, like, as the time goes on.
We're reaching about 45 minutes here. If we want to go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have to talk about today. Catch you next time on the podcast. If you guys want to end your streams, go for it.
Thank you, Shadow, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Mikey. Just going to give a shout out to Exile Soldiers, my guys in the chat. If you are interested, definitely give a shout out to Mikey and his team here. Exile Soldiers, I believe, a long-standing community for console gaming. Is that correct, Mikey?
12 years.
Yeah.
12 years. Wow. Some of you in the chat probably aren't even 12 years old. My guys here. Wow. It's gonna be going on YouTube.
Savage, bro.
Know your audience then. Damn.
Definitely hit that like and subscribe when it does hit that YouTube channel. And looking forward to the next podcast.
Yeah, it's got a few
Right.
things. This will probably be out, maybe later tonight, maybe. Depending on how well I can edit this,
I will send you the link when it's done.
Wonderful.
Alright.
All right. Have a good one, dude. We'll definitely ask you to come join us again sometime.
Alright,
Alright,
and
take
for
care.
our last
Looking forward to it.
sponsor of the podcast, Halo has been sponsoring us today. So, give a good shout out to that.
God.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.